So this is Algebra B. We are talking order of operations, section 1-2. Couple of things that we're going to talk about here are evaluate numerical expressions by using the order of operations, and evaluate algebraic expressions by using the order of operations. So what is the difference between a numerical expression and an algebraic expression? Well, what does the word numeral look like? Number. And what does the word algebraic make you think of? Algebra. A numeric expression has numbers. 8, 3, 9, 6, numbers. Algebra, that makes me think of variables. Does it make you think that? Letters, variables. That's what algebra is about, variables and letters. So an algebraic expression is going to have that. We're going to look at both. For the first day, we're only worried about numerical expressions, just with numbers. Now, I know you guys learned about this last year with Mrs. Dyer. There was a word that you used to help you know how to evaluate numerical expressions. Does anybody remember that word? You know it. I know you know it. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with order of operations. That's it. That's it. I knew you knew it. PEMDAS. You remember that now? I know we said it. PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Or maybe you've heard somebody say, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." That's the same thing. PEMDAS. That's telling us what order to do this algebra. And you know why they do this? There's kids over in Europe or China or Mexico, and they're learning algebra too. We do it exactly the same way that they do it. We can't do it different here in the United States, and they do it over there across the ocean, can we? We can't do it the same. That's why they have these rules and these properties that we'll learn about in algebra, because we need to each do them exactly the same. So, P in PEMDAS, what does that stand for? Parentheses. So next to our P, let's put parentheses. E. Exponents, out of the way. Exponents. Okay, M is next. What's M? Somebody different hasn't said it. Multiplication. This next one is closely related to multiplication. What is it? Somebody hasn't said it. Division. I want you to put a box around multiplication and division, if you would, please. Put a box around multiplication and division, please. Anybody know why I might say that those two are closely related? Jared?
Because do them both the same, like if multiplication comes before division, you'll do the multiplication first, or if division before the multiplication, you'll do the division.
Right, so if we've got an expression left that just has that multiplication division, multiplication doesn't always come before division, does it?
No.
Okay. If that's all we have left is an expression with just multiplication and division, then we're going to work left to right. Left to right. I'm going to put that L, and put an arrow on. That means work left to right. Will you guys remember that if I say L, arrow, R? Well, you know what that means in your notes. If you need to actually write out the words left to right, do so. Left to right. Okay, let's keep going on PEMDAS. What does the A in PEMDAS stand for? Addition. And S? That's subtraction. It's closely related to that addition, isn't it? Have you guys heard of inverses before? You heard that term? Inverses? Addition and subtraction are inverses. Multiplication, division are inverses. They undo each other. One undoes the other. Addition and subtraction, again, if that's all we have left in our expression, we're going to work left to right, just like multiplication and division. Now, when I say that's all we have left, that's kind of a loose term. And we'll talk about an example here shortly with what we should do. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is these calculators. We're going to need these calculators, and we're going to need to use them a lot this year. So let's get familiar with them. So if you would, go ahead and open them up. My first thing I want to point out to you guys is the lid should slide off easily. This one was kind of shoved on here incorrectly. It's kind of tough to pull off. If it's tough to pull off, then it's not on there right. Now, I would put the lid on the back side. The lid should go nice and easy on the back. If you're putting it on there wrong, you're going to have to like shove it on there wrong. So that should be your clue that something's not right. It should go in there nice and easily. Slides in real nice. First thing I want you to do is turn on the calculator. Anybody else need one? You've got your own calculator, that's okay. Just pay attention because you'll need these eventually. On. That's the button there at the bottom left. Go ahead and turn on your calculator if you haven't already done so. Button right here. It's pretty self-explanatory for most things. You've got your numbers, you've got your add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And your numbers are here in white, or kind of off-white. And then in blue over on the right, you've got your add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Couple of things I do need to point out. First of all, if we just had 3 minus 5, you could hit enter, type in 3 minus 5, hit enter, and that will give you your answer of -2. Now, if we wanted to use a negative number to calculate, you got to use the negative key. So let's say we had -8. I'm going back up. I'm going kind of fast here. The negative is right below the 3. You see that? Negative is just below the 3. So I typed in -8 times -5. What are we going to hit to find our answer? Enter. Hit enter, and that'll tell you it is positive 40. Now, if you do something, let's say we type in a -8 times -5. That didn't give me 40, did it? Why didn't it give me 40? You might know what I did wrong. I used the minus sign, okay? A lot of times in math will say, well, minus is the same as a negative. You'll probably hear me say that often. But on your calculator, it's not the same. If you're using a negative, I need you to make sure you use the negative button. What your calculator has done is it has taken A and S, means previous answer. It's subtracting 8 and multiplying by -5. And that's not what we want it to do. So if you're using the negative, make sure you select the negative, not the minus key. Something else I need to point out is a caret. If we wanted to calculate what 4 to the 3rd power is, we could do 4 times 4 times 4, couldn't we? There's an easy way to do it on your calculator, very easy way. If you would type in 4 for me, 4, and we're looking for a button that, we call it a caret, but this is what it looks like right here. It's an up arrow, like this. Do you see the up arrow? My calculator on the screen is a little bit different than yours, so it's not going to show the up arrow. Yours will have the actual arrow. 4, up arrow, 3. That means take 4 to the 3rd power. What is 4 to the 3rd power? 64 is correct. And again, I know you could have done 4 times 4 times 4. That's doable. But what if we add 2 to the 8th power? That's not going to be as easy, is it? Could you do 2 to the 8th power? What are we going to type in? 2 caret 8. square key, you look just to the left of the comma. I'm looking in the first column, and let's see, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons down. You see the square? I think that's x squared there. So if I were to do, say, 8 to the second power, I can type in 8 squared. I don't have to, you could use the caret, or you could just use the square. Alright, so that's pretty well the main things that we're going to use to start off. We'll use some other features, and I'll teach you those as we get to that point. Let's go back to our notes for a second, if you would. The next thing I'm going to have you do is, I want you on your calculator to calculate 4 to the 4th power. Can you please do that on your calculator? 4 to the 4th power. Don't say it out loud if you know the answer. Instead, I'm going to have you use your clickers to tell me the answer. So if you would turn them on. To turn them on, they're going to hold in the power button. There's an orange circle with a line through it on the left-hand side. Hold it in. And it'll turn on. And a little guy holding a flame should appear. Does your guy appear? Anybody having trouble getting him to turn on? Is it dead or just dying?
Well, it has a battery thing with an X through it.
Okay. Why don't you put that one on my desk and grab another if you would there? So right now you should have 4 options to choose from on your clicker. Is that true? When you think you know the answer, you're going to select the answer that is right. And to select the answer, you're going to put the button, click the button on the side of your clicker. And you have to hit send. Once you've sent it in, the little guy with the flame should appear. Should come back. 13 of you guys. So I should have 13 yellow boxes up here. I don't think we're quite in. Close, I need one more. Very good. I think we're all in. Excellent. D is the right answer. 256. Alright, so just a few minutes ago we talked about those order of operations. We're going to put those to use at this point. This is the first example we're going to go through together. So if you would copy this down onto your notes, please. It reads 48 divided by 2 to the 3rd power times 3 plus 5. We're going to evaluate this, and I'm going to use that word a lot this year, so let's talk about what that word might mean. What does evaluate mean? Solve. Find the answer. Alright, so we know we're solving a numeric expression. It's numeric because there's just numbers. There's no variables here. It's just numbers. So we're going to use our little cheat sheet, PEMDAS, to help us solve. What does P stand for? Parentheses. There's no parentheses in our problem, so let's jump down to E. What does E stand for? Exponents. Do we have exponents? Yes, we do. We do. 2 to the 3rd power. On your calculator, please evaluate 2 to the 3rd power. 2 caret 3. What is 2 to the 3rd? 8. Oops, that should be divided by. Okay. Step is where a lot of students struggle. They think, order of operations says parentheses, exponents, multiplication's next, and then they're going to do multiplication next. So, 48 divided by 8 times 3 multiplication, that's 24 plus 5. Okay, and then what would they do next? Division. 48 divided by 24 is 2, and 2 plus 5 is 7. It's not right. Why?
Multiplication first.
Left to right. Gracie, where are you looking left to right?
48 divided by 8.
Right here. Remember I said we're going to do multiplication division left to right, correct? We've got, it's called kind of like an expression inside of an expression. We've got what I boxed in there, and that's all multiplication division, isn't it? We need to work our way from left to right. We need to work left to right here. So let's calculate. 48 divided by 8 is? 48 divided by 8 is 6. 6 times 3 plus 5. You see how I'm doing exactly one step at a time? I want to encourage you to do that as well. That'll be so much easier in alleviating those mistakes. All right, we did our multiplication, we did our division. Excuse me, what's next?
Multiplication.
At this point, it is multiplication. 6 times 3 is
18.
18, and 18 plus 5?
22.
23. 23 is actually the correct answer. 7 is not. I made my mistake right there. I'm going to X through this one. This one is not the correct way to do it. Alright, this next one I want you guys to try on your own. We're going to use our clickers. I want you to copy it down onto your notes. I'll read it to you. We have bracket, and then parenthesis, 9 to the second power, minus 9, parenthesis, close parenthesis. What's the plus or divided by? Divided by, my eyes aren't working. Divided by 12, close your bracket, times 5. So let's use PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents. Now this one has more than one parentheses, so where should we start? Very good, Michael. The very inside parentheses. So start with your innermost parenthesis. If you've got your answer, you can use your clicker to tell me what you think it should be. Good. C is the correct answer. Let's work this one together real quick if we would. First thing is parentheses. Now inside the parentheses we need to do that. The parentheses, not the brackets. Inside those parentheses, what part would you do first? Subtraction or exponent? Exponent. E comes before S in PEMDAS, doesn't it? So 9 squared is 81. Again, I do one step at a time. That'll help save you a lot of mistakes. All right, still inside those parentheses, we can do the subtraction. 81 minus 9? 72. Okay. Now we're moving outside the parentheses, but we're still in grouping symbols. And those brackets are grouping symbols. So inside the bracket, let's take 72 divided by 12. 6. When a number like this 5 here is right next to a bracket or a parenthesis, what does that mean? Multiplication. Good. And 6 times 5? 30. 30 is our answer. All right, guys. I think for today I'm going to stop here because this is where I stopped with my first hour class. So if you have a loose leaf sheet of paper, I need you to put it in a folder that you're going to bring with you tomorrow. If you don't have a folder with you yet, just copy it inside the front cover of your textbook. If you've got a 3-ring binder, put it in there. If you've got a notebook, keep that notebook for algebra because we're going to continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have about 20 minutes in class and we'll do a few more problems together, and there will be an assignment tomorrow. There will be an assignment tomorrow. Guys, I will go ahead and post this video to YouTube. So if you want to try tonight, see if you can find it on there, do that.